I think fans are not going to want to miss Red Notice is, number one, it's a great movie, right? And I think you could tell, you know, fans, I always feel are, look, fans are smart, right? And they understand, and they get a real good sense of like, I got a feeling this movie is good. You just start to feel a build when a movie is good and great. And Red Notice is that movie. And I also think we bring the fans on a journey, and then we deliver surprises and twists along the way that nobody is expecting. But here's the thing with the twist, they love the twist. Because sometimes movies will give you a twist and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I want to feel that way. These were good ones.
Working with the guys, it was so delightful. They're both so funny and fun to be with. And I guess that was the fun part and also the most challenging one, because I had to keep a game face and not break out loud laughing, which I always did. So that was the best part. No, I'm telling you, the hardest part was not breaking takes. And Ryan is so good, and he was literally like a shark, just waiting around the corner, waiting to break us. And yeah, it was great. I love the dancing scene with DJ. That was just like a fun walk and talk type of scene that had so much in it. It's filled with twists and turns and surprises. It's not the type of plot you think you know where it's heading, but you have no idea. It's funny, it's filled with action. The guys are freaking amazing. It's just a lot of fun.
Oh, I mean, I know it sort of feels like rote or stock, but it's the camaraderie. I mean, I've known DJ for over 20 years now, so to have this amount of time where we just get to play in the sandbox together was amazing. I've known Gal for maybe 10 years, so we all had this kind of built-in chemistry that was just natural and easy right off the bat, so it was really nice. There's this sort of action sequence I do on scaffolding that's about 4 stories high. That was a little crazy. I had a couple of moments there where I was saying, what? I don't know if I'm in the right shape for this right now. That was a little nuts. I did a lot of my stunts. You know, you have to do as much as possible because these are high definition cameras. But I have a great stunt guy that I work with, Dan Stevens and Johnny James, and they were always around and able to jump in there. Oh, I think you're not going to find a threesome like this come along, you know, ever really. So you know, leave it to Netflix to figure out some way to make it happen. And it's a really special movie for that reason. I mean, there's obviously incredible action and comedy and adventure and all that kind of stuff. And I love a treasure hunt, personally. Like, the movie is a bit of a treasure hunt. So, growing up, I loved Indiana Jones and those kinds of films where at the end of the, you know, proverbial rainbow, there was a treasure there. And that's sort of a little bit of what this movie's about. So.
How many opportunities are there where there's a movie with the 3 biggest movie stars in the world? I'm talking me, no. But I mean, really, it's, I guess, you know, the scope of this hit me when I first started working on it, and then you work with these lovely people and you realize they're family people and they're just charming, nice, normal humans who happen to be the biggest stars in the world. And it's just a lovely reminder of how lucky I am to get to play in this environment. You know, when we started the movie, we were all guns blazing, excited to make it, and then when COVID hit, you know, this happened to everybody in every walk of life. There's this sobering moment of, are we all going to make it through this? You know, forget about what movie we're making. Are we going to be alive? Are the people we love and care about going to be healthy? So when we came back, there was something really beautiful between the crew and the cast, just this feeling of, we're lucky to be here. Metaphorically, literally, physically, so let's just be here. And I experienced so much humanity from the people I was working with, and just, I mean, look, I'm the luckiest guy alive. So fans and audiences are not going to want to miss this. The obvious reason is because Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot are absolutely ebullient in this movie. It's the best that each of them has ever been. But I think added to that is a phenomenally paced script by Rawson Thurber, and a beautiful and massively global production by Beau Flynn and Netflix. And listen, I'm in the movie. You're going to have a ball.
It is an honor. I don't think we set out to make their biggest film, but it ended up that way. And that sort of kind of comes with having three of the biggest stars in the world in your movie. But originally, it was just an idea that I had where I wanted to make sort of a throwback film. I love heist movies. I love action adventure. I love comedy. And I wanted to kind of write a love letter to those genres and those films. I think the most exhilarating part is when you have just the three movie stars in a scene together and they're each delivering beautifully, and that's probably the most thrilling, to see Gal Gadot just kill a scene, or see Ryan deliver a line beautifully, or Dwayne bring his strength to the table. That's always my favorite stuff, when the actors perform beautifully. I came up with the idea when Dwayne and I were making Skyscraper, and I pitched it to him, so he was the only guy I wanted. He said yes, and then I always wanted Gal. She was in my little Hope Journal notebook as I was thinking it through, and I flew to London to pitch her, and she said yes. And then I wrote the script, and as I wrote it, I had Ryan's voice in my ear for the Nolan Booth role, and I just crossed my fingers. I sent him the script, and he said yes, so I got my three first choices, which just never happens. You can't fake chemistry. It's impossible. It's not a function of directing or writing. It's a function of casting.
I'm so thrilled for so many reasons. First of all, the movie is such a blast and is going to play to the world. I feel so confident in that. But secondly, we made this movie for a long time, and we were shut down in the middle of the shoot during COVID. Spent 6 months in lockdown, and then the fact we were able to be back up, the first major movie back up, and finish it safely is such a cool feeling. And now here we are. We just wrapped exactly 1 year ago. Well, you can't miss this movie. I mean, first of all, the three biggest stars in the world with Dwayne, Ryan, and Gal, and also the movie is just nonstop. It's action, it's adventure, it's all the movies that you loved growing up, and there's some really big surprises as well. And so I recommend you see the movie quick before people ruin it.
It's a huge honor, and because there's a lot behind that. You know, when a company like Netflix signs on to do something like that, it means they have confidence in us, they have confidence in the story. There's a little pressure, but luckily we've been very fortunate to specialize in making very big movies, so for us to be at the forefront and be the first to deliver this scale of a movie to Netflix is a huge honor. And I think from the response we've been getting back from the movie and from testing and so forth, I feel that we really made something special that we're really excited to share with the world. Ultimately, when you have three movie stars that are mega stars, and Ryan, DJ, and Gal, that are just amazing people, it trickling down from them is just a really positive vibe on set. And all the filmmakers, we've made movies before, so it does have a big family vibe to it. It's always a bumpy ride putting these movies together, but once we found our home at Netflix and they understood what we wanted to make, they did everything that they needed to do to support us, and here we are now at one of the biggest premieres I think I've ever been at, which is exciting to say. So.